What to expect from a sales and use tax audit. During a sales and use tax audit, a Department of Revenue employee reviews your business records to make sure you're reporting and sending us the correct tax. One of the most common questions our auditors get is, why me? There are several reasons we might have chosen to audit you. They include discrepancies in your tax information, random selection. We call up lists of specific business types, then select companies on those lists to audit. We audit companies of all types and sizes. And referrals. These come as tips from members of the public and alert us to potential problems with your tax reporting. Big changes in the amount of sales tax you're reporting and sending to us. Since your business is different from any other, your audit will also be different from any other. One of our auditors will review your records, explain any errors you made and how to correct them, and make recommendations to eliminate such errors in the future. If you have questions during or after our review, please contact the auditor working with you. If you can't resolve your issues with the auditor during the audit, please contact the supervisor listed on the audit confirmation letter. If you want an attorney or accountant to represent you during an audit, you must complete a Power of Attorney Form REV 184. We encourage you to be involved in the audit process. One of our employees will contact you to discuss the records you'll need to provide. Remember, an open dialogue between you and the auditor will create a beneficial learning experience and minimize delays. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Among the records we might request from you are general ledgers, financial statements, and business tax returns. These give us an overall look at your business activities and accounting methods. Calculations and supporting worksheets. We request these to help us verify that you correctly prepared your returns. Sales invoices, sales journals, and accounts receivable journals. Such records show us if you correctly charged, collected, and reported sales tax. Exemption certificates. These show us why you didn't charge tax on certain sales. Charts of accounts. These help us narrow down which of your records we want to review. Vendor invoices. Such invoices are at the heart of any use tax audit. Depreciation schedules. These help us determine what large items you bought. Keep in mind that we also check for missing records. Items you can't account for are taxable unless you can show us why they shouldn't be. We'll verify that you correctly charged, collected, and paid state and local taxes. You must charge sales tax on all taxable items and services unless you can prove they're exempt. If you mistakenly charge tax, you must refund the tax to your customer to get a tax credit. These are two examples of items we might request when you claim a sale is not subject to Minnesota sales tax. We'll verify that you correctly paid sales or use tax on taxable items you purchased. Most Minnesota vendors charge sales tax. You could owe use tax on your purchases if you bought items from a Minnesota vendor who didn't charge sales tax, you bought items that are tax exempt because you bought them wholesale but later used them in your home or business, or you bought items from an out-of-state vendor who didn't charge sales tax. If you overpaid your sales or use tax, you're entitled to a credit. The auditor will explain how to receive your refund. We might choose to sample your records to complete the audit more quickly and efficiently. This involves reviewing representative records, projecting the sample result over the entire audit period, and explaining the sampling methods we use. We might consider doing only part of the audit by sampling your records. After our initial review, we'll discuss the results with you, talk to you about any mistakes we found, and show you how to avoid making the same mistakes again, and make necessary changes to your taxes, and give you more time to gather additional documents before the final report. Once we finish the audit, we'll send you a final report detailing any changes made to your taxes. You'll have 60 days to respond in one of the following ways: pay what you owe without additional late penalties or interest, file a written informal appeal with the Department's Appeals Unit, or file a formal appeal with the Minnesota Tax Court. If you have questions or need more information, please contact the tax specialist who conducted the audit. We encourage you to be involved in the audit process, ask questions, and learn from the experience. Your opinion is important to us. We may ask you to complete an audit quality survey after we've finished the audit. We use that feedback to improve our audit process. Despite our best efforts, problems occasionally arise that the audit and appeal process can't resolve. If you feel we've treated you unfairly, you may contact the department's taxpayer rights advocate at 651-556-6013.